I've been waiting for this. I've been hyped about this because I think for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been following his journey each and every single day. 7,500 kilometers, 14 days in the Saudi Arabian desert, coming home 20th in his class at the Dakar Rally, 32 overall in the bike category as Thixton. I'm sure you guys will feel like he's part of us here. And Marissa has been excited. She was nagging me yesterday. She was like, we need to get Ash on the show. We need to get Ash on the show. And I was like, no, maybe he's tired. But, he decided, no, he was fit enough to come and join us. Ash, good morning. And first things first, congratulations. That was absolutely amazing what you did in Dakar.
Good morning, Titch, ZTN listeners. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, we're very happy to be back in one piece. Well, pieces put together, but we're in one piece. And yeah, so fortunate to have taken on such a sizable event and to fly my flag proudly. It was super. It was amazing.
I know you got back on Sunday. There was a bit of fanfare at the airport. So your family was there to receive you. It's been a couple of days settling back in. What's that been like, especially after that experience of being in the Dakar?
Titch, it's been tough, to be honest. There was such a hype around the whole time, and for 2 weeks I just sat there in this bubble that I never thought would happen for it to go down. So emotionally it was like trying to deal with the fact that it's kind of done now, but in the same regard it's understanding that you've done your part. I went and did as much as I could, tried my absolute best, and it's been good to slow down a bit. The body took a hammering over the 15 days that we threw ourselves in the desert. So yeah, I'm happy to be able to recover, but looking forward to telling my story.
All right, and it starts right here. I remember, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was in stage 10. It was a bit, I think you had a crash and an abdominal injury. Maybe just talk us through that period, and because I felt like at some point you suggested you were thinking, oh, I might not make it. Just talk us back through that period and how you end up getting that deer award from the Dakar.
So, taking it back a few stages, stage 2, I had a really big crash. I threw myself at the floor really hard. We wear what's one of our protective gears is an airbag vest, which I managed to completely break in a way that has never been seen before. So that was, not nice. So carrying the injuries from that, I sort of just got to the end of that pain before, unfortunately, I just hit a hidden rock that I did not expect. And it really hurt. It took a big blow out of me. I was riding at the time with the guy that was ahead of me in terms of overall timing. So I was in front of him at the time and riding really good, and I crashed. And the amazing thing about Dakar is that when you crash, it's seen for everyone to help each other. You get given your time back because you're obviously all tracked. So stopping and helping someone everyone does it, which is great. So he stopped and helped me. And he saw the state that I was in, and he was trying to press the rescue button. I'm trying to say to him, don't you dare, this is not happening.
I still want to go.
This is not happening. And the ERTF that we speak to, we actually call France directly, which is the HQ. And I was so winded at the time, I could hardly talk, and they're asking, are you okay? And I said, I'm fine, I promise I'm fine. I've had a fall, can I have 2 minutes here? And obviously they picked that up, and they want to encourage the people to keep going, and so they recognized my ability to get up and keep going. Once I got going again, I did some catch up, which again they were like, well, this guy is really in for it, and he's trying his hardest. So that was why I was awarded the Deer Award. It was to go up on a world stage and shake the director of Dakar's hand, and the Prince of Saudi was a big moment. It was great to be up there.
So I'm assuming obviously that was amongst the highlights, but maybe just talk us through some of the other highs. Obviously we've spoken about the crashes, but when you look back, I know it's still early days at that 15 days that you were in Saudi Arabia. What are some of the things that you look at and say, you know what, this is going to stay with me for the rest of my life?
So if we go back to the beginning, the high had to be created by the low. My prologue, which was the qualifier, I made a few navigational errors right in the beginning. I think just the start jitters and everything. And I got classified in 105th, and I'm thinking, my goodness, I've put in so much effort, and I don't feel like this is where I'm meant to be. Stage 1 came, and I went from 105th, I think, to 45th. That was quite a high for me, to say like, okay, no, you got this. You know, I didn't know my result, but I knew my result would have been better than 105th that I started in. So that again, that was a high. Stage 12, where I rode the perfect stage, which is my final stage, to come through with probably my best result of the Dakar. That was another high. But that feeling of going over that podium, you know, I got to hold my flag. It was like the wind was perfect. It blew for me. I got my medal placed over me. You know, that was a surreal feeling. Just to accomplish that, that's definitely got to be the high, because of all the emotion and everything and the journey that it's taken for me to get there. It wasn't straightforward. It wasn't easy. But they do say if it was easy, everyone would be there. So I was there, very fortunate for what I had accomplished and waving my flag.
You know what? That's something that I loved about this whole Dakar experience, just watching it from back here at home. Something that Marissa kept highlighting when she was presenting the news, flying the Zim flag high. I mean, I think generally as Zimbabweans, I think we've become more invested, haven't we, Marissa, in the Dakar because of your exploits?
Yeah, it's something that, you know, so when my son was smaller, I used to take him on the bike, Donnybrook and whatever it is. And then, you know, just reading your story and just following your journey. Like, I know you went to Botswana for training before you went to the Dakar.
Yes.
So my biggest question there, I was wondering to myself, I said, you know, mentally, what was going through your mind, even in your training process and even being there? Because I do understand there's some fatalities that also happen along that, and it's such a hard race. Mentally, Ash, how did you prepare yourself for that? And even your family to think, is he going to come back home or is he not? How did you go through that?
Fortunate for me, I have that extremely positive mindset.
Right.
I was going there to finish this Dakar. That was what I told myself before I started training for this whole thing over the 3 years. And because I had said to myself, I'm going to do this, sort of the supporting crew were like, he's going to do this.
Yeah.
So every time I said, can I do it? They're like, you can do it. So it was like a rebound effect.
Yeah.
The whole time, I knew my capabilities on a motorbike. I knew that I had the willpower and the mental fortitude to push myself to the end. You know, the advantage for me as Zimbabweans, you know, it hasn't been easy for us the whole time. There's always diversity. There's different things that come along. It played perfectly into the Dakar scenario, where it was like, you know, you've got this problem. Let's fix that problem.
At home.
Let's go around. You know,
Wow.
it was amazing for me. That's my unfair advantage that I felt I had.
I remember speaking to you before you left for Dakar. You spoke about the Zimbabwean spirit and how we've all been through tough times, and that was going to help you along. You're back now. I was speaking to you, and you were saying you were back in the office yesterday. What has that adjustment been like, and what's the plan going forward? Can we expect to see you planning for Dakar 2025 already?
Touch, right now, I don't have the urge to go back for 2025. I loved every single second of it. It was a mammoth task getting there. It took 3 years for me to get there. I think now with the outcome of it and showing people, local people, my journey and what Dakar is about, because it can be misled of what it's really about. You know, maybe in a few months' time, once the body's recovered, once I've got back to a bit of normality, I'm going to be like, what's next? But, you know, financially, it was a big ask. It took big strain on myself, my family. And to put them through and myself through that again would probably be unfair. So, you know, if it wasn't for a financial, possibly a barrier, not a stop, I would do it again.
Right. Just finally, as we wrap up, I do understand you are doing a meet and greet with fans over the weekend. Maybe just tell our viewers who might want to come and see you, hear your story, where this is happening and what's going to be, how they can get in touch with you and be able to be part of that.
So 12 o'clock on Sunday at the Highlander. I'm doing a meet and greet and just to chat about my story, answer everyone's questions. And another big thing is that one of my rally jackets is up for grabs. I do have a little bit of a fund of payments to make, so I have my official rally jacket ready. And also just to meet people, just to share my story is one of the biggest things I promised I would do when I got back. So 12 o'clock on Sunday. Would love to see you there, just for a chat and a greet, and yeah.
All right, so it's going to be at the Highlander Sports Club right here in Harare. You can come and meet Ash Thixton, hear first-hand details from his amazing Dakar journey. And, you know, I've been saying 32nd overall, but correcting me and saying 20th in your bike section. Absolutely fantastic feat. We've just been rooting for him to finish the race. But, you know, he flew that flag high, and maybe somebody out there has been inspired by his journey. Ash, thank you for coming through and joining us and sharing your story once again, and wishing you all the best as you return to noble life.
Just want to say to all Zimbabweans, I'm that normal person. I'm that boy that never gave up on his dream. So if you have a dream, don't give up on it. Dreams do come true.
𝕀ℂ𝕐𝕄𝕀 ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.